Those losses really hurt us. Obviously, we was obviously the favourites at the start, and there was a lot of talk around us, and we wanted to build on that. We never wanted to come off that top spot, and unfortunately, we've had those two losses against, on the day, a lot better sides than us. Obviously, Keighley, they put a good score on us, and North Wales, I think there might have been 4-6 points in it. But yeah, we took that on the head. Hopefully, when we come against them again, we'll get on the right sides of it. But all our focus on is this year is promotion, whether that is automatic or through the playoffs.
Well, Jack, a big thank you for joining us. And before we get to this weekend's big derby against Rochdale, let's talk about the big derby last weekend against Oldham. Quite an eventful game. How was it?
Yeah, it was a really good game. It was, like you said, proper derby. I definitely felt it. I think the game plan we might have to try and spoil my game because there was a few late hits. But yeah, that's what derby games are like. It wasn't a high scoring game. It was definitely a game that we expected for them to do. They've not had the best results previously, but we knew there's a bit of things going on between both clubs, obviously, with our old head coach. But they was probably the best that they've played, and they tried to spoil our game because we're probably known for being that expansive team. But it just shows that we can grind out wins, and obviously the weather wasn't too good either. So again, it's just positive from our camp. Showed that we can grind those games out and come away with a win.
And how are you finding this season personally for yourself? Because I think you signed a contract extension, didn't you, ahead of this season, turning into a bit, part of the furniture at Hayward Road now, Jack, if I could say that to you, at such a young age. How are you finding this season at the club?
Yeah, really enjoyable. I've been at the club now for around 4, maybe 5 years now, and there's a group of us that we've been that long. So I just reached a few games ago, just reached my 100th game, so I didn't really expect that. Like you said, it feels like I'm a part of the furniture now, but yeah, really enjoying it. Al's put a different spin on it this year. Everyone's really enjoying the rugby. We're all playing for each other, and we're a really tight group, which we've had in previous years. We like I said, there's a bunch of us that's been there for quite a while. But it's just adding that extra bit of class that Al's done this year. Obviously, bringing in the likes of Dan Abram and Lewis Charnock, players like that who just take us over that edge, and hopefully we'll get this team back into Championship, where definitely the club where it belongs.
And with that regard, talking about the results, only 2 league defeats this season, both against the 2 teams above you, Keighley and North Wales. But with regards to the playoff line, I think you're 8 points or so inside the playoffs. So without jinxing it for you, it's looking likely you might make the playoffs this season, let's say. So what's those 2 defeats against Keighley and North Wales told you about maybe trying to, in the second half of the season, get into that automatic promotion spot if possible? And how big that gap is.
Yeah, those losses really hurt us. Obviously, we was obviously the favourites at the start, and there was a lot of talk around us, and we wanted to build on that. We never wanted to come off that top spot, and unfortunately, we've had those 2 losses against, on the day, a lot better sides than us. Obviously, Keighley, they put a good score on us, and North Wales, I think there might have been 4-6 points in it. But yeah, we took that on the head. Hopefully, when we come against them again, we'll get on the right sides of it. But all our focus on is this year is promotion, whether that is automatic or through the playoffs. Ideally, we'll like it automatic. But if that doesn't come, we're going to put our best foot forward for that, for the playoffs. And like you said, we're sitting third at the moment, on level with Rochdale. So we're in a good position at the moment. Obviously, we'd like to be a little bit higher. But obviously, we've got to play everyone twice again, so we can right those wrongs when we come to it.
You certainly can cement third for for the heading in towards July if with a positive result against Rochdale this weekend, and that takes us to this derby match. You've obviously had a South Lancashire Manchester derby against Oldham. The good news is I think you got the weekend off for the following week, which is great news. So one last push before that little break. What's your thoughts on this challenge? Because you're both on 14 points. There's not too much separating the pair of you. I think the two defeats they've had is against the same teams you've lost to. So, I mean, what's your thoughts on this one this weekend?
Yeah, obviously, like you said, points are very similar. We've just tipped them a little bit through the points, but yeah, they're a really good team. Obviously, they've got some really good experience in their team, NRL experience, Super League experience. They've got some big names in there, but they're playing some good rugby, similar to us. They like to throw the ball about. But I know it's cliche, but all we want to do is focus on ourselves, because we know if we put an 80-minute performance in, not many teams can handle us, and that's what we've not really done this year. So this week we'll just be focusing on ourselves and trying to put that 80-minute performance in, because obviously the position I am, that's what I want to do. I want to control the game for the full and really grind that result out and hopefully put a good score on. Because previously, I don't think we've played for 80 minutes at the moment. Maybe Doncaster was probably our best performance, but again, we let a few points in a 10-minute spell. So, yeah, this week we're just going to be focusing on ourselves, looking to complete high, playing some good rugby, and hopefully scoring some good points.
And final question, Jack, just about the crowd. Obviously, I think there was clocking on for 1,000 there at the Vesticare, wasn't there, last weekend? So hoping for another big crowd at Haywood Road for this derby on Sunday. What's the message to the home crowd faithful?
Yeah, they follow us everywhere. Like when we was in the Championship, they followed us to Toulouse, Toronto at the time, and yeah, hopefully they come out in numbers, because they definitely support us. They definitely help us on that pitch, and when it does start getting hard, like it did against Oldham, when stuff on the field isn't going right for us, and when we hear them, it's definitely that extra push to get over to that result. So yeah, hopefully they come in numbers this week.